A pair of hearing aids at a traditional clinic costs $4,727 on average. The same manufacturer, the same device, through a different channel, $1,674, same technology, a $3,053 difference. We ranked 7 hearing aid brands. 7 are billing you for the franchise, the fitting room, and the sales pitch. 3 are worth every dollar they charge. Starting with the brand where the gap between what you pay and what you get is the hardest to defend. Number 7. Amazon and generic online devices. Search Amazon for hearing aids. You will find dozens of listings priced between $20 and $80. None of them are hearing aids. The FDA does not classify these products as medical devices. They are PSAPs, personal sound amplification products. A PSAP increases volume across all frequencies equally. Speech, traffic, background noise, all amplified together. A real hearing aid processes sound selectively. It identifies the specific frequency range where your hearing is deficient and amplifies those frequencies while suppressing background noise. A PSAP cannot do this. Legally and medically, it is a different product. The risk is not just wasted money. Sustained amplification at the wrong frequencies can accelerate hearing damage. Some buyers worsen their condition trying to save money on it. No clinical testing requirements, no customer support infrastructure. Consumer reports consistently describe these devices abandoned in a drawer within 3 weeks. In our analysis, the price reflects what this product is. The label does not. The next brand sells an actual over-the-counter hearing aid. It received a cease and desist letter from a state attorney general for deceptive advertising, and it consistently tops comparison website rankings it has not earned through independent testing. Number 6. Audien. Audien's entry price is $99. For very mild hearing loss in a quiet room, the device produces basic amplification. Beyond that environment, performance deteriorates. No Bluetooth, no personalized hearing profile, no effective noise reduction. Hearing Advisor is an independent laboratory that objectively tests over-the-counter hearing aids across standardized performance metrics. 56 devices were tested. Audien's scores rank among the lowest in the entire dataset. Audien does not publish this data. What Audien does invest in is marketing. Their products appear at the top of most comparison websites you will find when you search for hearing aids online. Not because they perform, because those websites earn a commission every time they send a buyer to Audien. The better Audien pays, the higher the recommendation. The Arizona Attorney General issued a cease and desist letter to Audien for deceptive advertising tactics. In our analysis, $99 markets itself. The independent performance data does not support it. The next brand pioneered direct-to-consumer hearing aids before over-the-counter was even legal. They settled with the Department of Justice for $34 million. The design is genuinely innovative. The track record requires reading carefully before purchase. Number 5. Eargo. Eargo makes genuinely discreet hearing aids. The completely in-canal design is invisible when worn. The company was among the first to sell direct-to-consumer before federal over-the-counter regulations existed. In 2022, Eargo settled with the Department of Justice for $34.37 million over allegations of submitting false claims to the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program. Eargo denied liability. The settlement was paid. In 2025, following a period of financial instability, the company merged with Lexi Hearing under new ownership. Current buyer reports follow a consistent pattern. Devices that stop holding a charge between 12 and 14 months, typically just outside the warranty window. Multiple users describe disputed claims and inconsistent resolutions. In our analysis, the design is legitimately innovative, and the awards it has received are earned. A $34 million federal settlement and a documented reliability failure pattern are not details a buyer should encounter after purchase. The next brand has 80 years of heritage and 1,500 US locations. It runs on GN Hearing Technology, the same company that later appears in the 3 brands worth buying on this list. At franchise pricing, that connection matters. Number 4. Beltone. Beltone is a franchise hearing aid brand, genuine clinical heritage, over 1,500 locations across the United States, trusted by multiple generations of buyers. Beltone is owned by GN. GN also owns ReSound, one of the most respected prescription hearing aid brands in clinical audiology worldwide. GN also manufactures the Jabra Enhance, an over-the-counter hearing aid sold directly to consumers. Beltone hearing aids range from $2,300 to over $7,000 per pair through franchise clinics depending on technology level. The Jabra Enhance Select 700 built on the same GN audiological platform, $1,995. That gap is not engineering, it is the distribution model. One parent company produces the technology. Two channels sell it under different names, at different prices, designed for buyers with different levels of awareness about how the system works. In our analysis, GN produces legitimate, clinically respected technology. The franchise pricing structure applied to that technology deserves scrutiny before purchase. What comes next is the reason this pricing architecture exists, and why finding it is so difficult for the buyer standing in the clinic. Number 3. Traditional prescription clinic pricing. Across the major hearing aid clinic chains in the United States, the purchase follows the same model. The clinic does not manufacture the hearing aids. Every device comes from the same manufacturer supplying every other channel. The industry average for a traditional clinic purchase without insurance is $4,727 per pair. That price bundles genuine components together. A professional hearing assessment, device fitting, follow-up adjustments. For complex hearing loss, these services carry real clinical value. What the bundled model also does is make the hardware cost invisible. There is no line on the quote separating what you pay for the device from what you pay for the appointments. That opacity is structural. A buyer cannot comparison shop for a product whose price is deliberately obscured inside a service package. The same devices from the same manufacturers are available at Costco for an average of $1,674 per pair. In our analysis, professional care has genuine value. A pricing structure that makes it impossible to separate that value from the hardware costs does not serve the buyer. There is a specific name for why the hardware price is so difficult to find. The industry coined it. The major manufacturers use it by design. It costs the average buyer more than $3,000. That is next. Number 2. Price fencing. The hearing aid box says Philips. The device inside is made by Oticon. The box says Rexton. That is Signia. The box says Sennheiser. That is Phonak. This is not a coincidence. Every major hearing aid manufacturer sells their technology under different brand names depending on where you buy it. Different name at the clinic. Different name at Costco. Same device inside. The industry term for this is price fencing. The commercial purpose is to make it impossible for you to compare prices between channels. Phonak is made by Sonova. Sonova manufactures the Sennheiser hearing aids sold at Costco. Oticon is made by Demant. Demant licenses the Philips name for Costco. Signia is WS Audiology. ReSound is GN. Same manufacturers, different names, different prices, and no way to find the connection unless you know where to look. In our analysis, this system is legal. It is not disclosed to the buyer at the clinic, and it is the single biggest structural reason hearing aids cost what they cost. Number 1 has 102 Better Business Bureau complaints and is not Better Business Bureau accredited. ABC News Chicago investigated a couple who walked in for a free hearing test and left owing $8,000. It is the most recognized hearing aid name in the United States, and it is operated by the world's largest hearing aid retail company. Number 1. Miracle Ear. Miracle Ear has been the most recognized hearing aid name in the United States for more than 70 years. For most buyers, it is the first brand they think of. That recognition is real. Miracle Ear is operated by Amplifon, the world's largest hearing aid retail company. The devices inside Miracle Ear boxes are made by Signia. Signia is a legitimate manufacturer with a strong clinical reputation. The same Signia technology is available through independent audiologists and direct channels for $2,000 to $3,000 less than the Miracle Ear equivalent. The Miracle Ear advertising model leads with free hearing tests, sometimes a $25 gift card. Customers arrive expecting the affordable devices from the advertisement. The consultation follows a pattern documented consistently across complaint platforms. The patient's hearing is assessed. The entry models are presented as insufficient for their degree of loss. The recommendation shifts to premium devices at $6,000 to $10,000. ABC 7 Chicago investigated a couple who left with nearly $8,000 in deposits and financing on hearing aids that did not perform as described. This is not an isolated complaint. It is the documented pattern. There is a structural reason the pattern persists. Miracle Ear hearing aids use locked proprietary programming. The devices cannot be serviced or adjusted by any audiologist outside the Miracle Ear franchise network. They cannot meaningfully be resold. Once purchased, the buyer is committed to Miracle Ear's ecosystem for the operational life of the device. If the product underperforms, the only recourse runs back through the franchise that sold it. Miracle Ear is not BBB accredited. 102 complaints filed in the last 3 years. Consumer Affairs 2.3 out of 5 across 3,145 reviews. In our analysis, the Signia technology inside the Miracle Ear system has earned its clinical reputation. The franchise model built around that technology, the pricing, the locked programming, and the documented sales pattern has not. 7 brands, the same dynamic each time. Price built around the channel, not the device. 3 brands work differently. Here is what honest pricing looks like. Worth it. Number 3. Costco Hearing Centers. Costco does not manufacture hearing aids. Every device comes from the same manufacturers supplying the private clinics. Most people who shop at Costco already know the store's position, name brand quality, at honest prices. The Hearing Center works the same way. Average pair at Costco, $1,674. At a traditional clinic without insurance, $4,727. That 65% gap is on comparable technology from identical manufacturers. The qualification is fitting support. Costco audiologists follow standard protocols. For uncomplicated mild to moderate hearing loss, the value is straightforward. For complex loss requiring detailed ongoing clinical management, a specialist clinic warrants serious consideration. The hardware does not need to cost what private clinic pricing implies it does. Worth it. Number 2. HearingTracker Beyond Pro. Hearing Advisor tested 56 over-the-counter hearing aids. The HearingTracker Beyond Pro ranked 2nd overall. Sound grade A. Top 2% of all devices tested over-the-counter and prescription combined. The processing engine runs 5 systems simultaneously. It suppresses background noise while isolating the voice in front of you. In a noisy restaurant, at a family gathering, in a church, it processes the environment the way your brain expects to hear it. Red Dot Design Award 2025. Hearing Advisor Expert Choice Award 2025. USA Today Top 50 at CES 2025. Independent laboratory data is the only metric in this category that is not for sale. For the HearingTracker Beyond Pro, those numbers are among the strongest available. Worth it. Number 1. Jabra Enhanced Select 700. Jabra is owned by GN, the same company behind Belltone and Resound. The difference is the channel, no franchise, no markup, direct to buyer. The Jabra Enhanced Select 700 is $1,995. Built on the same GN audiological research pipeline as prescription Resound hardware, it streams audio directly from your phone or television. Smart noise reduction independently tested to work in restaurants and crowded rooms, the environments where most hearing aids quietly give up. The trial period is 100 days, the longest in the industry, enough time to evaluate it at work, at family gatherings, in every environment that actually matters, before you commit. Every purchase includes 3 years of remote care with licensed hearing professionals, video appointments, verified programming adjustments. If the settings need changing 6 months from now, the audiologists update them remotely. No clinic visit, no additional fee. That aftercare package is what private clinics charge separately for. It is built into the Jabra price. In our analysis, no over-the-counter device at this price point combines independently verified technology, a 100-day buyer protection window, and 3 years of licensed professional support. It is the standard against which every other brand on this list should be measured. The franchise networks, the bundled pricing, the renamed product lines, these systems have spent decades making it difficult to understand what you are actually paying for. Before any hearing aid purchase, ask one question. Ask for the manufacturer name, not the brand on the box, but the company that built the hardware inside it. Then search that name alongside Costco and Hearing Advisor. That search takes 90 seconds. It is worth more than any sales presentation. If this was useful, there is more coming. Subscribe so you do not miss it.